pleased to yield 30 more seconds to Representative Gottheimer. Tell us if Iran is an imminent threat.
Gentleman is recognized.
I believe, Mr. Mass, that if they continue to have able to develop a nuclear program, and they continue to have their ballistic missile program and their drone program, that I'm deeply concerned about the threat they present to the United States and to our allies in the region.
I'm happy to yield you more time. Is that an imminent threat?
Thank you. I mean, it depends how you define that. I think
I'm
depending
happy
upon where
to
it
have
depends.
a colloquy. I'm more than happy to not say yield every time. But have a colloquy.
I'm just saying. Sorry, I yield. No, I'm just saying, Mr. Mass, that if they right now are able to, and these are kind of questions I have that I'm not getting briefed on. That these are the questions I have about in terms of where they are in some of their program capabilities to be able to right now threaten our country. That's part of the question that I have. But I think you and I are in agreement, sir, that they are clearly a threat to the United States of America.
Absolutely, and I'm happy to let you continue the dialogue if you want. I'm not going to cut you off if you want.
Thank you, I yield, and thank you, sir.
I'm glad to hear you say that. Thank you. Because Iran is an imminent threat against us. I appreciate the Representative Gottheimer dialoguing with me for a moment. I will give another quote that you've offered. Iran's sole objective is to wreak havoc, create violence, cause instability, and cowardly murder U.S. service men and women protecting our way of life. That's a quote from my colleague over there. That's an outline. I agree with everything that he said. That's an outline of an imminent threat, as well as the whereas things that were added into this bill. It is an outline, an indictment of an imminent threat. Iran is an imminent threat against us. It looks like you might want to continue to dialogue.
Yield? Sorry. After you're done. Sorry.
Iran is an imminent threat. The imminent threat that's been going on against us, I'll outline some more of it. And this relates to the Straits of Hormuz. Not because of the combat actions that have taken place, but just because Iran is an imminent threat in what they've been doing. Captured sailors and 2 boats, IRGC. 4 patrol boats from Iran's IRGC attacking USS Nietzsche. USNS Invincible forced to change course because IRGC fast attack crafts try to run into it. These are all separate incidents. IRGC vessel attacks USS Thunderbolt in Persian Gulf. Unarmed Iranian drone flies to USS Nimitz as fighter jets landing at night. IRGC naval personnel place and detonate limpet mines on 2 Saudi, 1 UAE, 1 Norwegian registered ship, all harbored in UAE. These are going back years. IRGC naval personnel place and detonate limpet mines on Japanese ship and Norwegian-owned ships transiting the Gulf of Oman. This is, again, just going back in history. IRGC personnel deploy surface-to-air missiles to shoot down U.S. unmanned aircraft operating over international waters. IRGC Navy sees British flags and Swedish-owned Stena Impero tanker while it's transitioning the Straits of Hormuz. Iran attempts to stop British tanker, British Heritage, and 6 U.S. Navy ships attacked by Iranian ships. IRGC Navy forcibly board and detain Hong Kong-flagged SC Taipei, an oil tanker in international waters. 11 IRGC Navy small boats attack 5 U.S. Navy vessels conducting routine exercises. I have pages of these. I can go on year after year after year. I have at least one colleague over here that's willing to acknowledge the imminent threat that they are, what it is that they have been doing for long-standing with the Straits of Hormuz. Did you want to continue the conversation?
Sure. I mean,
Please.
Yeah, if you yield.
I'm happy to.
Thank you. Thank you. I don't. By the way, I completely agree with your outline of the threats that Iran poses, and I want to be very clear about that. I think they present a clear and present danger to our country, the regime there, which is why they need to be crushed. My broader point, and a question I guess I would have for you, is do you believe that that the Congress is being appropriately briefed and kept up to speed with, and because that's really fundamentally my challenge right now is I don't feel like we're getting the information, and I'm on the Intelligence Committee, don't feel like we're getting the information that we should be getting as a co-equal branch to make sure that we can do our jobs.
I'm glad you asked.
Thanks.
My opinion is yes, both by the content of what it is that the administration has told me in whether it's full House classified briefings with the Secretary of War, the Secretary of State, General Kane, Director of the CIA, John Radcliffe, whether it's in expanded Gang of Eight meetings that the ranking member Meeks and myself have been a part of, numerous of those. Other briefings that we've had. I have not had, I don't know how many briefings it is that you have had as a part of the Intelligence Committee, but I'm tracking at least 30 separate briefings. And absolutely, I am satisfied with the content of which I'm given. On any given day, would I love to have more information that they have within a tactical operations center, a TOC, as we call it in the military, of what's going on? I would love to still be an operator inside of a TOC, watching ISR footage of exactly everything that's going on, but that's not the latitude that we have to sit inside of those TOCs and observe everything that's going on. But I am satisfied.
No, so I'm glad that you're briefed because I think you have.
We all are. 30, at least 30 separate briefs.
Thank you. I think you have. Thank you for yielding. I think you've got incredible experience, and I'm grateful for your service to our country. And I'm glad you're getting those briefings. The challenge is, at least from my colleague's perspective and me, who sits on the committee, we've not been getting those sort of briefings that you've been getting, and that's part of what we're raising a flag about. And I mean, I would ask Chairman Meeks the same question, but that's been, just so you understand, the real frustration, because I'm with you that we should crush Iran, right?
I heard you say it.
I'm with you, and I just want to make sure, I want to understand where we are in that process, and to actually get appropriate updates on what's going on so that I can do my job. And that's really what this is about for me, and I yield.
I appreciate the colloquy. I'm going to reserve.
Thank you so much. Again,
I'm going to reserve until ranking member is ready to close.